Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to talk about, the events of January. It's kind of late because I'm recording this is like January the 12th. That's kind of late. The next month will be like sometimes even before the month itself, like the 3rd or 31 or something. But that was a mistake. But let's keep on. The first relevant event of the month in combat sports is one fight nights. Friday fights 47. No, it will happen today. No, 7:30 East time. And the relevant fights will have is Joaquim, three division Open League champion, which is amazing, versus Alexei Baliko. And combat Vertex, a two-time Lumpini champ. The event is happening in Lumpini Stadium, by the way. So, the heavy presence of Lumpini fighters right here. Okay. And Alexis Nicholas, who is champion, versus Magomed Magomedov, which is like the most outstanding name you could possibly have. Right. So the second event will actually be the same day. Will start 12 hours after the other one. It's going to be more focused on MMA, which is one fight night, 18. Gazanov versus O. It's going to be mostly MMA, right? And Gazanov has a 100% finish rate. O is also like a good finisher as well. So that will make things more interesting. Okay. Then in the next day, 13, we have UFC Fight Night in Kalev versus Walker. We have a couple of interesting matches. Of course, the Walker versus Walker, Kalev versus Walker itself is interesting. Um, like the last one ended ridiculously with a ridiculous, completely unreasonable doctor stoppage. Unreasonable, and like they were fighting desert. So okay, so also the veteran Ingolowski versus Julio Cortez Acosta in the prelims, and also talking about veterans, we also have Jim Miller and Card versus Gabriel Benitez, and the dawn of weight Manel Kape versus Matheus Nicolau. On the same day, a couple hours later, we have boxing with Beterbiev versus Meat. We have a couple of interesting fights. Of course, Arthur himself versus Callum himself, for the fight the BBC, WWE, and IBF light heavyweight titles. Chase Maloney versus Saul Sanchez for WBO bantamweight title is a fair defense. Though also interesting, Chase Maloney versus Saul Sanchez is also interesting. Christian Billy versus Robert Murdoch, super middleweight, also seems like something that will be interesting. The next day, 14, we'll have Rise Kickboxing event with challenging Lee versus Tiger Kawabi for the 60 kgs world title. The day 21 will have the highly anticipated matchup. The highly anticipated 297, of the match between Lucas Duplessis and Sean Strickland. Like the first title match in middleweight without Adesanya for a while. So, it's a big deal between their fights. I believe that, of course, the main event will be awesome. But also a couple of other more interesting fights. We have Chris versus Marco Benatoriot and Aaron Allen versus Moses Evloev. All those will be interesting. We have another boxing event in Japan, with Kenshiro Teraji versus Carlo Canizales. Will be for the Teraji's WBA and WBC light flyweight title. We also have, another title fight on it with Artem Dalakian versus Seigo Yuri Ikui for the WBA Dalakian's title. I also have another, I believe the fourth boxing match of Tenshin Nasukawa. For people that know, Tenshin Nasukawa is one of the greatest kickboxers. Alright, so we're talking about Tenshin Nasukawa. I think it's his fourth or fifth fight in boxing. He's one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. He he was undefeated for like 10 years. He debuted at like 15. He defeated a bunch of great fighters, Takeru and Roteng are the ones that stick out the most when you think about it. I remember he defeated also a Muay Thai fighter and a kickboxer that was also a boxer. It was an ABF for champion once. No, sorry for not remembering it exactly, but no, he had great wins. Uh, then we'll have in the 27th William Fang, WLF, and have a couple of interesting matches. You know, uh, I couldn't find an image for it, and I don't know why the hell this image is so small. Okay, like that's looking kind of bad. All right, so we didn't have an exact poster for it, so I'm just using this image that's from a previous match, between Jia Aoki and David Major. You know, they they're rematching and they're the main event because they're fighting for the 67 kg title. We also have a Liu Tse, I believe we pronounce it Liu Tse, I don't know, versus Sebastian Luteniuk for the ISKA K1 World uh, 90, 95 kg title. I believe it's called like Super Cruiserweight or Heavyweight, whatever. I also have an interesting fight between the K1 champion Oyanga Feng against former club champion David Kiye. So I'm talking about like two champions from two great organizations. Uh, I don't know exactly how to watch William Fang. It's kind of hard because it's like from China. So, but I'm sure it's interesting, really interesting on it. Now, before continuing for the next event, there will also have two fights that are not title fights. So I'm not going to talk a lot about them. They are also not like huge, but in the same day, January 27th, we'll have a super middleweight fight between Jamie Mungia and John Ryder, and a welterweight fight between Lewis Kuka and Joseph Felix. Joseph Felix. I don't know. I don't know exactly his nationality. Do you know if Jose, Jose, whatever. We also have Crush, and another time an image kind of, alright, that looks kind of better. So I have Crush, for those that don't know, Crush is a kind of sister organization with K1. So there's a lot of conversation between those fights. So this event is like basically just Crush, and there's not like too many big names. The main important fight is Yuto versus Daima for the Crush title itself. Now, the fight that I believe is the most interesting, like the most relevant, the biggest one of the month, which won once won 165 with Super Light versus Takeru. It was supposed to be Rotang versus Takeru, but well, Takeru is now going to debut against the champion, so that's a huge deal for him. And I believe like there are a couple of interesting fights that we can talk about, before talking about the main event. We have I think probably universally beloved um, Sexyama, the Yoshiro Akiyama. He'll be fighting Iñaki Holtzken. If you don't know uh, Akiyama, called also Sexyama, is widely known because he was a medalist in judo and he's an MMA fighter. And he's known because he has a great physique, great personality, and because he's still fighting at 48. And he said that he will only like retire at 50, which is like rare because most fighters they they're like horrible at that age because of wear and tear. This is not his case. He is quite well. He also has a great physique, himself. So we also have so there will also be a submission grappling match. Keito Rotolo will be defending his title against Tony Lungaker. I don't know where he is exactly from, but like I believe it will go as usual. Rotolo, well, finish the guy. That's what he usually does. Um, we also have the legendary MMA fighter Shinya Aoki, Japanese legends versus Sage Northcutt, the fighter that looks like a 80 character, 80 like martial arts movie character. Body like the guy looks like a bodybuilder. Uh, well, I think it would be a good fight. Sage style is also amazing to watch. Really like traditional, heavy, traditional in the sense of like karate and taekwondo, not in like orthodox. It's really amazing, not a lot of acrobatics. But the main match will be Super Light versus Takeru. Depending on the size of this fight, this will be amazing. Super Light is one of the pound for pound. I would probably put him in the top three pound for pound best fighters in the world right now. He's young and he still has an amazing career. I believe that he will probably retire as like a top 10 or top 15 kickboxers, top 20 kickboxers of all time. He's amazing, super luck. And he's the current champion, and it's the Takeru, which is, that's kind of bold to say, but I believe that he will probably fit in the top 5 K1 fighters of all time. It's kind of bold because there's a lot of huge names that fought in K1. Um, but he was completely dominated, and he was a champion in 3 different divisions. He won. It was completely amazing. He making his debut in one championship. So yeah, two guys that already had a Hall of Fame career, and two guys that could possibly retire as top 10 on the gold conversation. Completely amazing fight, and really, really interesting in watching it. And for this month, that's it. Um, Probably at the end of this month, or like in the real beginning of the next release, month of February. So, but also watch out for stuff of us. We talk about the events after they happen. We're talking about some of them. We're talking about predictions that I may have. We release compilations, we release lists. So stay tuned and love you guys. Mwah. God bless.